Okay, welcome to week 8 of Senior Living Operations Management. Today we have with us Sarah Pruitt, Director of Marketing and Sales with the Rogue Valley Manor. Hi Sarah.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us today for the marketing class. This week's class will consist of 2 PowerPoint presentations. We're going to discuss marketing and strategic marketing in the first PowerPoint and in our interview today, and then we're going to go into the sales process in the narrated PowerPoint, which Sarah is also going to be part of. Sarah, maybe you can explain to us a little bit how senior living marketing works when we as operators look into marketing our senior living communities, possibly starting up a new one. What kind of parameters do we look at to be effective marketers?
Well, one of the primary things is demographics and knowing your market. Knowing your primary market, knowing your secondary market, knowing your tertiary markets. Analysis of feasibility, demand is important. Anytime you're going into a new market, you have to know if there's really a need, and that would be step number 1. Feasibility, of course, of actually any kind of new development in the area. Outside factors that may be outside of your control are important to consider, and then of course knowing your population, knowing what people are going to be age and income qualifying for whatever type of a community you're looking at, and really determining what the demographics are culturally, every aspect that you can to know the people who are going to be your target market. Okay,
thank you. So how would you determine the income and age qualified market, and how would you go about that?
Market research. Market surveys, market studies, hiring outside companies that specialize in doing those types of research is critical in really getting accurate data for that type of development project.
Okay. So let's say we know we have a market, we know we have a project, we know we have interested seniors that want to move into senior living communities. What would be the next step that we would take?
After we have done all of our research, all of our gathering of data, studying, we begin developing a marketing plan and really drill down on what steps we're going to take to get the word out there to begin that process.
Okay. What are some components of a marketing plan? What do you look for? What are some marketing strategies that you would include in the marketing plan?
Well, the first thing we would do is an overview of competitors and making sure that we know exactly who our competitors are. And that's certainly part of the process when you're doing your market research and researching demographics and the need. But to have a marketing team that knows exactly who they're competing against is critical. The next piece of the marketing plan obviously is to talk about what are your strategies. What are we doing as far as the actual marketing piece of it. Are we talking about seminars? Are we talking about presentations? Are we talking about events? How do we advertise for those things? Is it going to be more critical for us to be doing newspaper advertisements? I mean, there are so many different components to the marketing plan that we can talk a little bit more in detail about here in just a few minutes.
Thank you. What would be the most effective marketing source or source for getting new people in the door for either a new or an existing community? Is that like TV advertising, or is that radio, or what is it?
Direct mail.
Direct mail.
I think direct mail, depending on what your message is, if you're purchasing mailing lists that target who you know is your primary market, direct mail is one of the most effective ways to do it. Seniors are definitely internet capable nowadays, but they really still love receiving something in the mail that they can hold in their hand, and then the internet can be something that goes on top of that. But TV certainly can be effective if you're marketing within an immediate radius of the community in which you're developing or selling, if it's an already existing community. But I think that direct mail is still probably the best way to do that and go about that.
Excellent, thank you. Once you have a community up and running and you have satisfied residents, what are some potential programs you can put in place to attract new people into the community?
Anything you can do to get them to visit the community.
Okay.
Anything you can do related to events where they have the opportunity to interact with residents and really get a feel for what life at the community is like. What you're trying to do is trigger an emotional response, and it's very difficult to trigger that emotional response without having that individual or that family actually feel a part of the community and have the opportunity to be a part of the community, whether it be for a couple hours through an event, for a tour, whether it be for a couple of days and nights that they're able to actually spend as a resident or as a prospective resident in the community. But anything you can do to trigger that emotional response through people, through resident interaction is critical.
Excellent. Thank you. What we'll do is in the second part of our class and our presentation, we'll go through the sales process and we'll dive a little deeper into specific actions a marketing and salesperson can take in a senior living community to get people in the door and to actually make the sale happen. So we'll see you the second part. Thank you, Sarah.
Thank you, Torsten.